Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and we are continuing on our Gift It With Me series, Meal Prep Edition. This is now part 3 of the series of, well, this particular series. So the next thing that we're going to be cooking is going to be steak tips with the wilted arugula, goat cheese, and pear salad. So it is from this book, and this is what we're doing. But instead of like this, it does say spinach. I'm not using spinach, I'm using arugula. I mentioned that in the very first video that I had out. So if you wanted, so definitely feel free, and please check out part 1, part 2 of this. And I did take a brief break because I actually ate some of part 2, and well, not some of it, I had one portion of it, and it was amazing. I did a fabulous job. But anyway, let's get to it. The last 2 parts shouldn't take as long. I think part 2 was probably the one that's going to take the longest. So yeah, it's a thing. So let's go ahead and we're going to get right to it. Let it dry. Because I'm not using actual steak, I'm actually using this thing. So this is like going to be our meat substitute, and it calls for 2 pounds of it. So we have 3 portions of this to make up the 2 pounds. And so the next, it does call, so we're going to get right to it. We're going to go ahead and put this in a pan. We're doing like a tablespoon of oil. And calls for like a 12-inch skillet. I just usually I'm not sure if this is 12 inches or not. I'm not good at measuring. And you can either season this ahead of time before you put it in the pan, but since I'm not actually using real steak tips, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm actually going to just season this once it's in the pan. And call it good that way. And it actually calls for a certain amount that you're seasoning it with, because we are using the book this time, as you saw. And with the book, I do follow the instructions a little bit more when it comes to the seasonings. When it comes to online recipes, I just don't think it really is in existence there as much. So that's kind of the reason why I do one thing one way and one thing the other way. All right, so when it comes to the seasonings, it's basically calling for a half a teaspoon. Do this half a teaspoon of salt. I try to put on there as evenly as I can. I don't know how well that I did there. And then it calls for like a 1/4 of a teaspoon of the pepper. I don't measure the pepper because I use a pepper grinder, so I use this stuff here. And we're just going to go ahead and add this in here. But the good news is it's easier to add this in a little bit more evenly. And then, yeah. Seasoning together like so. Yeah. This is a good sized pan because this is a large bowl and this is 1 portion. I mean, this is probably actually the portion that it calls for. This isn't going to take that long. I know I've said that multiple times, but I just want to continue to share that. Okay, so the next being used. And I'm going to do halfsies because of the fact that, well, you're already kind of seeing I don't have everything I need as far as like the size of a bowl. I need a larger bowl for with this, but so and then we're supposed to slice this extremely thin. So I'm trying to slice very thin, and we're combining it. Okay, I still need to put the other bit in there. Okay, so that's what it says to do next, and then from there, then we're going to it calls for 3 tablespoons of chopped pistachios. I'm not using pistachios, and also too, I need to get another pan ready because the rest of the ingredients are going to go. It's going to be cooked because we're also going to toast the pistachios. But we're not going to toast pistachios. We're actually going to toast pine nuts too if you'd rather not use pistachios. But again, I'm a pine nuts girl, and honestly, the past couple recipes I've been using is called for pine nuts. So I'm just going to continue to just use pine nuts. And it's just easier to locate. So that's that on that. But 3 tablespoons is like 1/8 of a cup. And I'm trying to just chop up these pine nuts. I'm probably going to add a little bit more pine nuts to it because I really love pine nuts. So I'm going to do one more. A little bit of it. Oh yeah. Pine nuts. All right. So from there, we also need 1 shallot. So it's the other bit. Let me make sure. Do I need shallot for any other recipe? Okay, we're good. So I'm using 2 tablespoons of oil in here. So just twice the amount that I put in before. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and put the pine nuts in here, but I'm gonna cut everything up before I heat. And then I gotta do the 2 remaining portions, and that's gonna be kind of how we do it. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I gotta improvise a little bit. Okay, this is not cutting the way I want. And then for the shallots, it is calling for it to be halved and sliced thin. So I just halved it, and now I'm slicing it thin. I don't think for this recipe, though, it calls for the shallots to be as big as this shallot is, because this is a really big shallot. But that's okay. I'm just going to make it do what it do. Oh, no. And I did turn off the heat. I think I mentioned it before, but I did definitely turn off the heat for like the steak tips. So there's that. Alright. So then next we're going to put all this in here. Then we're going to need to... So let's go ahead and get that heated up while that's happening. Garlic. So I'm getting my garlic right now. So I'm going to do 2 of these. Did it even say how to do this garlic clove? It said mince, so I just minced it. I always assume that's minced, but I should stop making that assumption because I don't think it's always that. But I just always assume that that's what we're doing. Okay, so then, the dry thyme. So then I just need the dry thyme. That's that on that. And then next, I need to get that lemon zest ready to go. I don't think it was supposed to be this much onion, but or shallot, same thing. Onion family, unite. Oh, also need to put the salt and pepper. Let's not forget about. And then we're just going to continue to stir. And you want to stir it around because we're toasting, because while we're also doing what we need to do for the shallots, we're also toasting, well, if you're using pistachio, you're toasting pistachios, but you're also toasting the pine nuts. And it calls to do this for about 2 minutes. Because you just want the shallots to just get softened. It doesn't need to be caramelized, it just needs to be softened. And let me bring this closer so you can see what I'm talking about here. See, this is what it's looking like so far. So about 2 minutes. So I mean, it's pretty much almost there already. I'm going to turn it in, cut this in half. Then I'm also going to get my grater. Okay. How much of this? And then I want to also clean the outside of this lemon. Whoop. It's calling for half a tablespoon. So it's going to be half a tablespoon of this. So stir in. Oh, this is supposed to be dress. This is supposed to be the dressing. Got it. Interesting. This is very interesting. This is supposed to be the dressing. I don't know how much this is really the dressing's gonna dress. Now I'm trying to be overly rude or critical, but I'm like, what is this gonna give? I'm a little confused. For me, it's giving a little bit of confusion, I'm not gonna lie. Because is this enough zest? Or that's enough lemon zest? I mean, it's almost cooked down now. Okay. So then after that, the other thing I want to add then is the juice. And the juice needs to be like 2 tablespoons worth of juice from like the meat, and I didn't use any meat. So I'm going to have to improvise a little bit, long story less long. I already know that's what I'm going to have to do, so we're going to turn off the heat because we want to make sure we have enough dressing, or else this is not going to give what needs to be gave. But I understand how this is supposed to work now. That's why it says wilted, because we're supposed to do it immediately. So this is going to wilt the arugula, or if you used spinach, it will wilt the spinach, especially the acidity of the lemon. Okay. Alright, so we got that. I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in here, because that's, oop, I don't think I was supposed to do the whole thing, but oh geez, we're going to have to really improvise. I'm gonna, sorry, I have to make changes to this because I forgot that this is not the whole entire portion. So I'm going to really improvise on this big time. Yeah. Actually, this might be the whole portion. You know what? I'm going to change my mind and make it this whole portion because I think arugula just is volume-wise is more. There's more going on with it. So it's fine. Sometimes this happens when you're cooking. You change your mind on things, and especially when you make substitutes like I do, it makes it sometimes where you're like, does this make sense for this? Because this is not the originally what they're asking for. It's like one of those things that I just had going on just now. Okay. And then I'm probably going to end up using tongs instead of like my spoon. And then that way I can do the portions how I want to do them and where it makes sense. Okay. Alright. Cool. And then I'm going to do this, and then we're just going to make it do what it do. And then we'll put the portions in, with steel. Okay. Actually, okay. It's coming together. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm probably going to edit a lot of my critiques out in this case because I'm kind of just rambling. This actually works. I just need a larger bowl in the future though. As you can tell, I don't do a lot of salads. Okay, so this is what the salad looks like. We're going to also, lastly, we're going to add the goat cheese on top. And then we're going to add salt and pepper. Then after that, then we got one more dish. And that should conclude our video. And there's going to be a lot of editing that I'm going to have to do this time around. Okay. So, salad clearly is the star in this one, which I'm okay with. I'm trying to make sure I get all the ingredients with it though. So I don't want the salad to be too basic now. That's not cute. Alright. All of them have a scoop. This gets a second scoop. This gets a second scoop. This gets a second scoop. And then this gets a second. Good. Scooped. No, I never do that. I'm going to add a little razzmatazz to it. I am not that much of a cheese person where I need that much cheese. I think this is good. Okay, I lied. Maybe I am using that much. A little bit goes a long way. Okay, so that's good. Okay. We got our goat cheese there. Do a little bit more stuff. It's even. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's done. She cute. And then I'm going to put the meat in these little side containers. And I think that will be enough for portion. So we're just going to do that all the way around to make sure the portions are given what needs to be gave. And if there's any extra, which I'm sure there will be, we'll just even it out. We'll divvy it out evenly. I might personally though, I might add more dressing. Because because that dressing seems dry, but that's just me. But also too, I think it's because I'm not using actual meat. Mine is not going to give the same kind of energy as what it would give. So I'm going to probably end up jazzing it up to make it better. Like I might marinate this meat that isn't really meat into something where it actually gives what needs to be given. Because right now I'm just kind of like, I mean, I guess. And by the way, I'm trying to keep the meat separate, which isn't meat, this stuff that isn't meat separate, because that way I can microwave it when I make the food. But yeah, I have my portions of food ready though, which is cool. So this will work. And then after that, then I just gotta cover this all up. So this one was, I kind of mentioned it was gonna be an easier one of all the ones I've done so far. Because it wasn't really much cooking, it was more prepping than cooking. This is definitely more of a prep heavy one. But yeah, this is 4 meals. Anyway, so that does conclude part 3 of this Get Fit With Me series, Meal Prep Edition. Definitely, again, make sure you check out part 1 and part 2 of this. And we have one more to go to conclude all parts of this Get Fit With Me series, Meal Prep Edition, pretty much for this month, because I think I am going to just make sure I just do it once a month. I'm not going to do this often at all, just because it's not a highly watched thing. So anyway, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.